I've survived firefights on 3 continents, taking cover behind everything from sandbags to jungle trees. Hell, I've been shot at by folks who didn't even speak my language, but nothing in all those years ever made my heart pound the way it did the morning I found my wife, my Emma, slammed against our own refrigerator by 2 muscleheads while a smug woman filmed it all like she was putting together a home movie for the HOA newsletter. Yeah, you heard that right, the damn HOA. There's a sound you get in your ears at a moment like that, kind of like thunder rolling through your skull when you realize everything you've built, everything you swore to protect is suddenly on the line, and you're not even there to shield the people you love. What gets me to this day is knowing the neighbors saw it, saw the whole thing, and not a single soul stepped in, not one. When we first moved to Bradley Oaks, I thought maybe this is it. Maybe this is the place I get to hang up my boots, let the war stories fade into backyard barbecue, smoke just blend in, be a regular guy, you know. Emma fell for the place the moment we walked in. She saw a little patch of crabgrass and mulch out back and called it potential. That was her way. She made it a real garden, little stone beds curving around a fountain she picked out at some antique shop, strung soft lights between the trees, her own kind of peace. I'd do the grunt work, digging plant and getting the pavers lined up so neat you could land a helicopter on them if you had to. And some nights when the world got too loud or my head was too full, I'd just walk out there and run my hands over the stone, reminding myself that life could still be simple, could still make sense. But then right when we were getting comfortable, she showed up, Karen Davis, the new HOA president. And let me tell you, she strutted around like she'd just been handed command of a military outpost, not a neighborhood full of tired middle-class folks who just wanted the trash picked up on time. First HOA meeting with her at the head of the table, she's in this stiff navy skirt suit, heels clicking on the tile, rattling off a stack of new rules like it's a military tribunal. Her crew standing behind her. Tracy, her assistant with pearls and that sour-lipped look like she's sucking a lemon. And then the big guys, Max and Jared, standing there in community patrol jackets, like they just graduated from the world's lamest police academy, staring daggers at anyone who so much as rolls their eyes. At first, it was little things warning about our front door color, not within the approved palette, whatever that meant, even though it had been the same deep blue since we moved in. Then, bam, citation for an obstructive flower pot, $50 just like that. I laughed. Emma didn't. She said Karen's smile made her skin crawl, and she was right. Next, I get fined for overgrown grass. My yard's tighter than a golf green. I check it with a ruler. Didn't matter. The ticket showed up anyway. KD's signature at the bottom slid into the mailbox like a ransom note. I kept telling myself it was nothing. I was just seeing threats everywhere because of the old days, maybe. Emma wanted to fight it. I just wanted peace, so I paid up, moved the pot, cut the grass again. It never stopped. Tracy started showing up, 2 snapping photos of our place from across the street, sometimes just standing there, writing stuff down in her little pad like she was casing the joint for a heist. I confronted her once she flinched, tried to play scared, but I could see it in her eyes. She liked it. People like that, they get brave when there's someone more powerful behind them. You know what I mean? Right around then, Max and Jared started their community safety checks. Always when Emma was home alone, never when I was there. They'd ask weird questions. What kind of chemicals do we keep in the garage? Does she feel safe living with me? Did she know the HOA could enter the property during an emergency? Never quite enough to call the cops on, just enough to keep us on edge, just enough to remind us who's running things. The garden became our battleground. Then the real ugliness started. Emma found her favorite pot, smashed the one she'd spent weeks making by hand, pieces scattered everywhere. Trash got tossed in the yard. One night, someone left dead flowers on our porch like some sick message. The same week, someone spray-painted outsiders on her car while she was shopping. She came home shaking. I checked the security camera footage I'd tucked up under the eaves. Nothing clear, just a shadow and someone laughing. I wanted to go to the police, but what was I supposed to say? My wife's being stalked by the HOA. They'd laugh me out of the building. So I started my own investigation, beefed up the cameras, logged every threat, every late-night car parked out front. One night I noticed a weird metal box bolted up the street, pointing straight at our house. Not a utility meter, not like any camera I'd seen. Traced the wire in the dark all the way to Tracy's backyard behind her shed. I banged on her door and demanded answers. She freaked, called Karen, who spun some story about neighborhood safety. Yeah, right. I pulled the cable out myself. Next morning, we get a $500 fine for destroying HOA property. Emma tried to keep her chin up, but I could see her fading, couldn't sleep. Flinched at every creak on the porch, and then one morning over coffee, she asks if maybe we should just sell and move. That question broke me more than any bullet ever did. I promised her no. I'd protect her no matter what. Truth is, I was scared too. Not of Karen. Not of her little thugs. I was scared of what I might turn into if this kept going. And then the twist I never saw coming. Emma found a folder stashed in the garden shed, shoved under the potting bench. Inside, photos of me old service pics, a shot of my Navy SEAL trident tattoo, plus notes pages and pages of notes about our routines, Emma's work schedule, my travel dates, even old emails I'd sent the HOA. Handwriting was Karen's sharp, precise. At the bottom, a note. He doesn't know who I am. He will. Suddenly it clicked 15 years back. There'd been a scandal in my last unit. A mission gone sideways, a leak. Someone selling intel. I was the one who'd pieced it together, but I never learned who the traitor was. Just that someone got a dishonorable discharge and the Army buried it. Now looking at Karen, her jaw, her eyes, the way she spoke in code, I knew. She was the leak, and she wanted payback. Next HOA meeting, I confronted her right in front of everyone. She went full lawyer cool as ice, talking about community safety and civic order. The board folks who'd known her for years just nodded along. Nobody looked at me. Nobody stood up. Meeting ended with a new round of rules and an order to tear down all of Emma's garden lights. That was her pride, her safe place. She cried that night, not loud, just a kind of quiet sob I'll never forget. Then came the attack. Thursday morning, I was downtown for a work thing, left Emma home, promised to be back for lunch. At 10:30, my phone buzzed a text from Emma. They're here, Karen, Max, Jared say it's an emergency inspection. What do? I told her, call the cops, whatever she could. She never got the chance. I pulled up the security feed on my phone and watched them shove their way in, Max and Jared laughing as they smashed Emma's ceramics, flipped our furniture, barked orders. Karen just stood there filming. When Emma tried to call me, Jared yanked her away, shoved her so hard against the fridge I heard it rattle. Max leaned in, said, "Sell the house, lady. Nobody wants you here." Karen just kept filming. I don't even remember getting in my truck, just flooring it, blowing through stop signs, praying I'd make it before something worse happened. Pulled up 12 minutes later, door wide open, house wrecked, my office trashed, family photos torn up, Emma on the floor, blood on her hand, tears on her face. Max and Jared didn't see me come in. I went through them like a freight train. Max caught a knee, went down screaming. Jared swung. I ducked and dropped him. Karen tried to run, dropped her phone, froze when I looked at her. I didn't touch her. I just picked up. Emma called 911, then dragged those two morons out onto the lawn, zip-tied them with cords from the shed, and waited. The neighbors came out, stood whispering in their driveways. Not one stepped forward, not even when the police rolled up. Karen tried her act, claimed. Emma attacked them, tried to paint me as some unhinged vet. The cops looked skeptical until I showed them the video. Every threat, every shove, every cruel word. They arrested Karen, Max, and Jared on the spot. Assault, conspiracy, stalking, destruction of property. The board had to call an emergency meeting. By now, word was out. Emma, hands still shaking, played the video for everyone. That's when Tracy, shaking, stood up and confessed, said Karen had been blackmailing her for years, using old secrets to keep her in line. People started whispering, angry, ashamed. Not one person looked at me, nobody apologized. Karen left in cuffs, eyes burning with hate or maybe just exhaustion. Emma was named interim HOA president. She never wanted the job, but folks saw she was the only one who never tried to control anyone. I stood there on the lawn shirt, torn blood and dirt smeared across my hands, staring at the empty space where Karen's car used to be, not feeling relief, just this strange, hollow satisfaction like winning a fight you never wanted. After that, the neighborhood changed. People mowed their own lawns, rules got rewritten, simpler, fairer. I rebuilt Emma's garden one stone at a time, watched her start to smile again. Some nights I sit out there listening to the quiet, wondering if anywhere is ever truly safe, or if peace is just something you gotta fight for every day over and over, even in your own home. Never let silence be the loudest voice. Stand up, or a Karen will run your life. That's the lesson from Bradley Oaks. But tell me this, does standing up make you the hero, or just another target? Let me know down below, where do you draw the line between order and control, between peace and surrender?